pipe organ hasn't changed a whole lot in 100 years. We have families of stops, various divisions, and consoles that are logically laid out. However, the world has changed in 100 years. The world has gone digital, it's gone electronic. Today, our popular music is almost devoid of natural sound except for the human voice. Most instruments we hear are electronic or digitally generated. As a church musician, you may be finding yourself facing a bit of a dilemma. That is, people asking you as an organist to play sounds that are digital. Well, some organ builders are building organs that have a bridge that can help you get to the 21st century while still having your roots in the heritage of the pipe organ. And they do this by adding to the organ a technology, a language called MIDI, M-I-D-I, musical instrument digital interface. This organ has MIDI capability, and I'm going to demonstrate for you how you can embrace a whole new world of tone while keeping all of your favorite organ sounds. If I'm playing on the grate right now with no stops pulled at all, of course I hear nothing. We all know about that. If I pull one stop that's one of the regular organ stops, I hear that. A beautiful open flute. But now I'm going to pull the MIDI stop, and this is connected to, well, let's play it and find out. What's that? Sounds like a celesta, and a good one too. Now, you would normally not be able to reach over and play a celesta at the same time you're playing the organ. This basically takes a celesta and puts it right at your fingertips. Now, on a lot of organs, if you pull a MIDI stop, it will not couple to other divisions at any pitch when you engage the crescendo pedal. However, this organ is configured so that the MIDI stops will couple, and the sub and super octave couplers, which we have discussed in earlier lessons, when pulled will also super and sub couple the MIDI voice to itself. Watch again. I'm going to have the MIDI now with 3 octaves at the same time. Now you may have listened and heard that the volume changed a little bit. On this organ, we have an expression pedal that is dedicated to expressiveness to MIDI stops only. So when I move it open and close, like I would normally open and close swell shutters, the MIDI stop becomes louder and softer. Watch as I shade it one more time. So we can have one voice on one manual with MIDI, and on this organ, another voice and yet another voice, all different voices on each manual and pedal. Here we have a favorite keyboard instrument of many organists, the digital harpsichord. It's better than real life in some ways because on a harpsichord, you may only have 3 or 4 octaves. Here, we have a harpsichord that spans all 5 octaves of the organ keyboard. What a luxury. And when we sub and super octave couple that manual to itself, it's as if we have a very expensive 16, 8, and 4 foot stop harpsichord. This organ has a MIDI device which is permanently wired into the organ console, but you may be wanting to connect a MIDI device such as a standalone keyboard and play it from the console. You're going to need to connect it by way of a MIDI cable. It looks like this. It's a 5-pin connector. It has a little indentation indicating the place for the polarity. And never force it into the socket, but find that polarity place where it just fits and then push it in all the way. MIDI cables are generally the same on both ends, and if you need to extend one, you can get a MIDI cable extender like this and plug that all together. Try to keep your MIDI cable runs 25 feet or less, because sometimes signal loss, and therefore some confusion in how the MIDI is translated, can occur when the cable run is more than 25 feet. One more tip: if you're just now getting into MIDI and you have an external keyboard and you'd like to play that by keying it from the organ console, my advice is experiment a lot with the external keyboard first. Choose the sound that you want. Be happy with it. Get it at the right volume and so forth. Hook up then the MIDI cable from the MIDI port on the console to your external keyboard. Then power up the organ, select the MIDI stop, and start testing to make sure that it's transmitting through and on the proper channel too. Once you get accustomed to MIDI, you'll find that it opens up a vast new world of tone color, augmenting all of the wonderful colors of the King of Instruments, and it will be a familiar group of sounds to the modern parishioner and will extend your effectiveness as a great organist.